Hi, Yu. Hi. Thanks for doing this, coming out today. So yeah, it's been 3 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's been 2 days only, right, since they left your body. Okay. So wanted to pass this to you first before I forget. This is actually the Bible that my mother passed to me when I was 7 years old. Because last time I belonged to a religious organization called JW. So we usually preach, when we go preaching outside, we use NIV to avoid detection because JW is banned in Singapore. Yeah. Okay, so it was true when I was young that I had an encounter with demons also, and I through God's power, I managed to break free from them. Okay, so this is Solarian, the divine spear, used by the Archangel Imperius based on the video that was sent to me. Okay, and I hope you can use this. Yeah, it is as well. So I hope you can use this to slay those damn demons, those motherfuckers. Okay, so that they will never come back to you again. So this is yours. Thanks, man. No problem. Okay, so take care of it well. The next time when you get your own divine weapon, you can pass back to me. Okay? But until now, you hold on to it.
There won't be any pages missing for the world.
So until now, you hold on to it and make sure that you use it well, okay? Every day, read a bit and pray to God. Okay. So yeah, Eunice, the purpose of this video recording is to actually help people around the world who are experiencing the same thing as you, but they don't know how to handle it. And then some of them, they may go to spirit mediums, they may go to priests, they may go to pastors, they may go to imams, but they still can't get a permanent solution to their demon problem. So I think God will be very happy that you come up today and we discuss about ways in which you can protect yourself against these demons, and you can draw closer to the Almighty God Jehovah. So thank you very much for sharing your experience. So I just have to ask you a couple of questions before we go into the main meat of the material. So question number one is, you had an experience last Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Can you just briefly tell us what the experience was?
Last Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a meal at McDonald's. Then we were saying prayer before a meal. Which is done naturally. So it's like I felt that it was very uncomfortable because the prayer, like, I don't know, it was, maybe it's very bright or something, then just felt very uncomfortable.
You felt like there was a light coming from me,
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're also aware that they call me Light of the Lord, right? In fact, you were one of those who told me also about this Light of the Lord.
Because we are friends, right? So you said that you were Light of the Lord. So so I do believe that you are. Because from the prayer, just a simple prayer for a meal, and then it's like to thank Almighty Jehovah. Then it's like it was pretty uncomfortable. Yeah.
You felt something inside you stir, like there was a very uncomfortable feeling inside you.
Yeah,
the prayer was
like,
missing.
yeah.
So before that, you also told me that your godpa tried to exorcise some demons from your body or something in the past.
It was like the demon was put in by some other spiritual messenger. Then it's like I met the other spiritual messenger because it seems like he told me that there was a demon. Then end of the day, right, he actually removed it and then he put in even a fifth one. Then I could feel its claws like grabbing against my neck and everything. Yeah. So then my godpa came to the picture and then he removed that evil claw demon.
Yeah. Thanks for
All
sharing.
along I was like, hope that they are ghosts, but when I met you, then I realized that they are called demons because they are very evil. Yeah.
They are. And so they are the greatest actors in the universe lah. I was telling you. You do know that Hollywood is under them. And then you were telling me last time you studied in Poly also that if you play all the Walt Disney songs from back to front, you will hear praising Satan.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like taught to us like through our lectures with the lecturer. It's like it's part of one of the module, one of the lessons. Like it's cognitive, some cognitive module that makes you think. So it's like it's one of the lessons, one of the lectures. So our group, our class, right, we are split into different groups. So we actually discussed on that problem, and the lecturer actually played those like songs backwards, and then it's like it was quite scary. It's like, yeah. Do I have to say which song?
No,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just to to reaffirm what the Bible says, because the Bible talks about the Satan being the ruler of the world. So I will also be reading one of the scriptures with you later. And then,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. So, yep. I'm just glad that you are still here in one piece, right?
Yeah, from young it's like always like used to think that I can hear a lot of voices, and it's like they are always discussing about something, and then end of the day, after I met you, and then after that meal, then I realized that then you also shared with me a lot about Jehovah, Almighty Father. So it's like I realized that when after the meal I went home, then I started like also praying to him, and then I felt like whenever there's like voices, and then I just pray to him, and then it will just stop. Yeah.
So
praying
previously,
to him made me feel very
made you feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. I'm very happy to hear that. So previously you thought you were going crazy, right? That's why you could hear all those voices, you had those things clawing inside you. Do you think that you had mental illness at one time?
Actually, all these issues like made me feel very depressed.
Very depressed, huh?
Yeah, so actually it did lead to some like psychiatric diagnosis. Yeah, so
But generally you're aware that if you hear voices or you hear things, people will think that you're crazy.
it's actually
Yeah.
called psychosis. Right?
Psychosis, yes.
Scientific medical diagnosis.
But now after that experience on Saturday and next, what is your thinking? Is it mental illness that you were facing?
I believe that praying to Almighty Jehovah, right? It kind of like saves you. So it's like you don't feel like you feel like very comfortable, and you don't feel sinful or doing things that actually are very ordinary. So like maybe
So did the voices continue after you prayed to Jehovah?
once I start praying, right? When I hear, then I start praying, then you will just stop. Like very, very unbelievable. But if you try, then you need for
That's the power of God. So, am I right to say that if you really have a genuine mental illness, if you don't take a medication, you will keep hearing voices?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was told.
That's what we were told.
Yeah.
But for you, the moment you start praying, the voices stop talking to you. Is that correct?
Yeah. Probably it's not really.
So let's just recap. Yeah, I agree with you also. So, if that's the case, then we know like it's not mental illness. Then it must be something else, right?
It's like a playground. Like go hopping around, go shopping every different mall, and at the end of the day, it's still back to square one.
Yeah. Correct. So, very glad that you experienced the Almighty saving power. So, just to recap, Saturday we went for singing karaoke, and you already had some feelings inside you already. And then after the incident that happened, we went to McDonald's. We went to McDonald's to have a meal together, right? Before that, you had no appetite. You didn't really have any appetite. Yeah, there were quite a few things that happened, but after that, the moment I said the prayer, can you tell us what happened? You said you saw a light, like you felt a light, very bright divine light.
I can't see stuff.
Yeah, so you have to adjust.
I felt uncomfortable. Maybe the lights.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. It was like a sense of burst of energy.
So you see, that is one very clear indication that there was something inside you. You agree with me?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there was something inside you
Because
still.
I still felt there was something.
Because you could feel the light, right? You see the, like, sort of feel the light. Was it a very uncomfortable kind of brightness or a glorious kind of brightness?
It's a burst of energy.
Burst of energy
Yeah.
coming from me, is it?
Yeah, from just your prayer alone. So, yeah, it made me feel like, I couldn't see any light. I can't see stuff. It's just that it's a feeling of a burst of energy that is very uncomfortable. Yeah. Maybe
And
because my body is always like so susceptible to like demons entering or whatever, or ghosts or whatever that is called and what. So it's like, yeah, so your prayer made me feel very uncomfortable, but I believe in God lah, because there is God, there is God, so I believe that there is God. So even like no matter how uncomfortable it is, right, as long as you believe, right, then and then it's true lah. It made me feel better after the 3 days. It's just very quick. It's from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then
Monday's
Monday,
today lah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
meeting you again, I'm felt much better.
Feel much better already.
Yeah. So it's
Then-
just a short while. So you don't have to be scared of because Almighty is not.
So after you went through the experience, you went home that time, we were still exchanging messages about the incidents that happened on Saturday on WhatsApp, isn't that correct? We were still talking about it. And then you came to a realization. Can you share with the audience what is that realization you came to after they left your body?
How I felt that they left, right? Because I felt very tired, then very lethargic. Yeah, then when I had a meal with my parents, right? We were supposed to have a meal, but I didn't because I felt like vomiting. Yeah. So it was very uncomfortable feeling when they actually leave. So it's like I felt like I was a skeleton and without a frame to support the
Which you
body.
texted to me in WhatsApp.
Yeah. So, but it's only a temporary feeling if you believe in Almighty Jehovah. Yeah, it's like actually I did prayers the whole night. Whenever I woke up and whenever I feel like there's like something wrong, right, then I'll start praying. Then it made me feel better. It's like amazing that once you start praying and then you feel less uncomfortable.
Very good.
Yeah, you have to believe.
So you see, this is one of the methods which I'll be sharing later of how you can defend yourself against the dark arts, against the demons. Of course, this is not trying to promote Harry Potter, but I'm just borrowing a phrase from the movie to illustrate how we.
It's a very nice show
Yeah, but you know it's from the demons also, right?
that you told me last time. Yeah, should be like that. Yeah,
So-
all Hollywood movies are based on them.
So try not to watch those that are too direct, really linked to that, like witchcraft and things like that.
If you watch, you have to be. You should like know that they are actually movies.
Yeah.
Don't be too taken.
Yeah. But you know, these are some ways they link the connection to it also.
Maybe they're trying to teach you like wrong stuff.
Correct. Which you have taught wrong stuff for the most part of your life. Until now. Can I say that? Like you were told that the demons are
It made me feel
ghosts.
very miserable. And then like everything I do is always like end of the day I will fail my primary school exams. Like I don't do well and I'll go to the worst school. And then like then I will make it to like people usually go the normal way and then I will have to go extra ways to just to reach the goal. So it made me feel very pathetic. You have to suffer more than others. Yeah. Which I don't know why this happened. So, but anyway, it's like now I found Jehovah, then I know that things will be better. So, yeah. So just I I'm thinking that maybe the past should be gone. Yeah, just be forgotten and look towards the brighter future. Just by believing in Almighty. Yeah.
I'm very, very happy to hear that. Praise Jehovah for letting us meet,
Yeah.
and then
Almighty.
yeah, thank him for that, and for letting
for him to arrange for us.
yeah, and for using me to help you, to free you, because I'm just an instrument only lah, like I mentioned.
Maybe the time is there.
Yeah, timing is right. Because if 6 years ago you think about it, if 2 years ago what I meet you on the streets, then I start preaching to you about the Bible,
Yeah, I wouldn't believe.
you wouldn't believe, right?
Yeah.
You would throw in my face and tell me to get lost, right?
Yeah.
Go, yeah. So the timing is.
That's like meeting someone.
So I think, like, yeah, we just have to wait for the start to work, for things to happen. So I'm also
I'm
quite
very
happy.
glad that I mean a very good one.
Thank you. Me too. Thanks for the double cheeseburger meal just now.
But it's fine because you're sharing the Bible.
But I mean by right we cannot accept gifts from people lah. But meals is okay lah, because Bible time prophet also did accept meals. Yeah. Unless God say cannot lah, then okay lah. No choice lah. Yeah. But anyway, thank you anyway. So yeah, I just want to clarify again. So the next day when you woke up, you felt very nauseous. You felt like very out of sorts, like you mentioned just now, like a skeleton without a frame.
Yeah.
You felt like something was missing from you. Very empty inside.
Yeah, it's like I have to support my own weight. There's no one to help me support my weight. Yeah.
Do you know why you feel that way?
Not really.
Yeah, because I was explaining to you in WhatsApp, right? Last time when they were inside you since you probably a kid lah. Because your parents already, they were involved in some sort of religion right, at that time.
I don't think they were so religious. It's only because of me, then they became like
Religious lah. But they had amulets and that kind of thing.
when I was young, I really don't remember that they are very religious.
So it was because of when they were inside you, they were forming you. They were giving you power lah, in that
It's
sense
like
lah.
when I walk past supposedly a scripture object, like maybe a head or something, there is a link to some god, and then I will like be freaked out when I see it. Then I will start to think that, or maybe because I didn't pray to them, I didn't worship them, then I will feel like that's why I'm so shocked. That I will be like frightened by this object. So I start to be very religious. Start to learn about religion.
Yeah, so basically after they left you, I was mentioning to you, they left a demonic footprint inside your body. It means they took something from you with them. They took their power away from you. That's why you feel so weak, right? You feel like vomiting. This is the physical effects of demon possession after they left your body. But after that, you mentioned that to make yourself feel better, you did something else.
You mean the past few days? I did
You
something.
did this, right?
Yeah, I did prayer.
Do you feel better now?
Yeah, you just have to withstand the period that you are uncomfortable and then you keep believing in Almighty. It's like you feel better like regularly. Yeah, just by praying, reading the Bible, talking to Him as He understands you. Yeah. No matter whatever way that you stay, yeah, then you send it through Jesus' name and then He will accept it, He will receive it. Yeah, then He will love you
Yeah, excellent.
like
Yeah.
His children.
Couldn't agree more. So when you felt like crap after the day that you left the body, then you started praying to Him every night. You were saying that you prayed the whole night.
Yeah, just these 3 days I kept praying. Because whenever I feel uncomfortable, I start praying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What effect did it have on you?
It's
Did you start
like,
to feel better?
yeah, once you have like, for example, like, it's just an example, maybe like stomach, then you start praying to Him, then suddenly you will just feel better. But mine is related to demons, so, but I think, yeah, I think humans will get sick, it's just that this thing is just thing to, I mean like,
It's related to them.
for me it's related to them. It's
So you didn't go and see a doctor or what, right? After prayer, you start to feel better.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Yesterday I got quite a shock. I was with Rayhan. We were studying the Bible at the same place that we are doing this interview now. So when you messaged me say that you don't feel good, I was quite worried. So I offered to come down to Westmore to do some prayer with you. Yeah. But I think you were not able to, right? So I said a prayer for you privately. Did that help you?
Yeah. I mean, like your prayer did help me feel better. Even though you wasn't present with me and I was together with you again. But then I was somewhere else lah. Yeah, I was like shopping with my mom. But I felt better lah. I didn't like, because in the morning I was feeling like very nauseous. But at night I wasn't, because I was shopping with her. Right? But then I was having a feeling that maybe you did some prayers for me. But my phone wasn't with me lah. So when I reached home, then I read the messages. Then I realized that you really did help me to pray lah. So I appreciate you for that lah. So because it made me feel better.
Glad to hear that lah. Glad to hear that. So just remember that if next time I'm not around, or your other Christian, maybe you have Christian friends next time, if they are not around to pray for you, then I think you use the word Christian because I don't want to associate this with any religion. Maybe you say we have friends who serve Jehovah also. If they are not around to do any prayers for you,
because like Christian, right, from what you told me, right, I think right is Jesus is a messenger and it's not the God. So like some churches actually like glorify him.
correct.
And it should be your prayer should be directed to Jehovah and not Jesus' messenger, although he did sacrifice himself for us. So there's a proper way of praying, and maybe you would like to share.
Yeah, later I'll share with you. Okay? But you know what you just said is really the truth. All prayers should be directed to Jehovah. Even Jesus himself taught us to pray to when he was on earth. Yeah. So the sad thing is that Satan, being the cunning old fox that he is, I call him Lucy Juicy lah. So Lucy Juicy is damn cunning, right? Go and tell people pray to Jesus. So most of the churches, actually, in fact, all the churches in the world today, they are actually praying to Jesus and Mother Mary. Salah already lah, wrong already lah. Yeah, you agree with that? They are praying to Jesus. They glorify the cross. Some they pray to Mother Mary. Some they pray to Saint Paul. Stuff like that. So this is what we were discussing the past few days also. That all religion is actually from
God. You mean all religions are created by Satan? To mislead men.
That's why I told you all that the day, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to make you worship the demons. He just misalign the instrument a bit, right? It's just like a laser measuring instrument. You got to be 100% accurate in order to measure the things that you're trying to measure, right? So can you imagine what happens if he misaligns the instrument by just 0.01%? What will happen?
The laser will shoot a hole in some other part.
Correct. Or the readings will not be accurate. So same thing as what he's doing today. He doesn't have to, make you bow down to a picture of him. He just have to make you think that you are serving the true God, Jehovah. But what he do? He misaligned a bit. That's why mankind now is in script, and mankind needs to be free. And you and Raven are one of the first that I've been used to free from the group. So very happy that we're able to share this with the world today. So after that, the next day, Monday, which is today, you also were still feeling not so good, right? Were you feeling not so well?
Now.
Yeah. Maybe before you met me. No?
Before. Yeah, I was still like doing prayers myself. Whenever I I feel uncomfortable.
Very good. I think you should keep that. Because one thing that I was very impressed, I wanted to share. I just want to deviate a bit and talk about Saturday again. Remember when you bought me the orange juice because I spent so much time talking to you about God's word and praying with you. You treat me the orange juice from McDonald's. Then you asked me a question. You said, should we also pray when we are drinking drinks? I thought that was very impressive because as a Christian, like you claim that I'm the light of the Lord, the champion of the Lord, right? I mean, that's what you feel lah, right? But as a supposed champion of the Lord, I don't even pray for my drinks. So it's something that I feel very ashamed about. You taught me that. Yeah. So you see, Eunice, your heart is actually for Him. Your heart is right towards you. You actually have a lot of faith inside you. That's why He arranged this meeting whereby I could share more with you and also help you to get rid of the demons from you. Do you realize now that He is actually calling you? It's not me, no?
I'm not sure why I believe so much in Him. It's like, really like you say, I have faith.
It's faith, yeah. You have a great potential. That's why the devil wants to attack.
But it's not very fair lah. I don't even know what's going on, and it's like my whole life is like, and even my parents are being drastic. I mean, I appreciate that I've been given like very supportive. Like not, I mean, not everyone may be so lucky, but then just believe in Almighty Father, Jehovah, and then
Yes.
yeah, maybe we all can be.
Definitely in His own time. But what I'm saying is that on Saturday you taught me a very important lesson. We should be thankful for every single thing.
Every moment in your life. Yeah.
Even shitting the toilet, you can thank God for the smooth shit.
It's kind of true, no?
You know what I
Because
mean?
you think, right, some people
Yeah.
may have problems actually going to the toilet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
For me, I'm
I
blessed
prayed
lah.
like for the last 3 days, like everything also I kind of pray. Yeah. So I feel that I'm actually disturbing him, but
He likes it when you talk to him. He actually likes it. Yeah. So I mean, even just now that silly example that I just brought up, shitting.
Yeah.
You just say, "Hey God, thanks for the smooth shit." Also can.
But you must send it through Jesus.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Very good. To Jesus, you see. So I say, it's really God's will for you to be free. This is time. And so thank you for teaching me on Saturday that we should be thankful for everything. Now everything I experience, I thank God. See that now we're having a very smooth breeze, right? Thank God for the breeze, no? Thank you, Jehovah, for the breeze through Yeshua's name. So
I made it comfortable for this interview.
yeah, exactly. So be thankful for every single thing in life.
Okay, can.
So you must be thankful for Solarian as well.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. This your,
This is my spiel.
yeah,
You want
this
spiel?
your,
Okay, so now we have known that your condition is not mental illness and that it is a result of demon possession, but you have been freed by the Almighty God Jehovah.
yeah, but the record is still there.
Correct.
Yeah,
The
something
print is there.
wrong.
The print is there. You are right, because if they go into you once, they can come back in again. And you were telling me that you have been feeling like presences at your back, right? For the past 2 days, right?
Yeah, even now.
Even now also you feel, right? So the reason is because they are not happy lah. They are not happy that upstairs snatched one of their most prized servants away.
So I'm a freaking looking cow.
They're not going to let you go so easily. So we must defend yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you got Solarian already. This one is one of the most important piece of defensive equipment. I would say it's an offensive equipment. They are very scared of Solarian, the Bible. Very scared. So how do you use this like a skilled warrior? How do you use it? That's what we're going to discuss now. Okay?
No idea. I really don't know.
Okay, so
By reading?
okay. I have a bigger Solarian with me. So that's why I give you this one. I upgrade already. Upgrade.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we turn to the first scripture, okay? Let me find first, then I find for you. Because frankly, I forget the scripture. The armor of God. Yes.
Never heard the Bible in my life.
Never heard Bible in your life. How do you feel holding it now?
It's very powerful.
Very powerful.
Because it's yours, ma.
Thanks,
Oh yeah.
Really sorry you back a bit.
If I buy some one by myself, will you have this feeling more, right?
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah,
But you see,
should know,
it's a
right?
bit torn already because
Yeah, it's your own Bible.
very old already. So
I think you
just
just
take
like
care.
giving Bible.
That's not my job, man. Okay, turn to Ephesians. Okay, Ephesians is here. I turn with you here. It will take some time to learn how to turn the Bible, but you will get there eventually. Okay, Ephesians chapter 6. Okay, chapter 6, you see these big numbers. No, these Philippians, sorry. Where's Ephesians? Ephesians here. Okay, chapter 6 is the big numbers. When I tell you chapter means it's the big number, you see? Chapter 6. Okay, Eunice, can you read verses 10? Okay, verses 10, the verses is the armor of God. Okay. You read verse 10 first, then you stop.
So it's very long.
Okay, sorry, you read verse 10 to 12. You try to read aloud.
Finally, be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms.
Stop. Thank you very much. So, in this scripture, the Apostle Paul admonishes us. Apostle Paul is a apostle of Jesus last time. He admonishes us to put on the. Why do we need to put on the armor? It's not for fun, right? Not for cosplay, right? So why?
So the demons will not enter you.
Exactly. Because we are fighting against very good. We are fighting against Mr. Satan or Lucy Juicy.
Okay.
And Lucy Juicy is not any ordinary foe, right? He is the devil, right? A very powerful angel in the past that became a demon. And the scripture says, where is he now? Is he in heaven? He is on earth. And who's staying on earth? Humans. Yes. You got it already. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. So, because we are fighting against these creatures, right? We need that spiritual armor. Is that clear? Clear, right? You think about it, if you're a soldier in the past, you have a set of armor, right? Then is this armor going to be like perfect and shining all the time?
You need to polish it.
You need to maintain. Very good. And the next few verses is going to tell us what this armor is and how we're going to maintain. So you want to read for that for us? Okay, so I invite you to read verse 13 all the way to 18. Verse 13 to verse 18. Can you please read aloud, please?
Yeah, looking at where is the
Can.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, to continue. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand firm then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the saints.
Very good, thank you. Let's take it one by one. So, sure. In verse 13, Paul says, put on the full armor of God so that you can withstand your ground against evil, right?
Yeah.
In verse 14, he talks about the first piece. Stand firm then with the belt of truth around your waist. So, what does this belt of truth mean? What do you think? Where can you find truth? Where can you find truth? Very good. So, whatever is written here, you must be familiar with it, right? Yeah, it says wrap around your waist. So that means you must be very intimate with the Bible.
So I have to really understand about this.
Correct, the truth. Because out there are many belts in the shops. Got leather belt, got metal belt, cloth belt. But are all the belt the truth? No, right? So there's a lot of teachings in the world lah. Got Buddhism, got Taoism, got Hinduism, got Islam, right? A lot, right? But these belts may not be the right fit for you, right? For this armor of God.
Okay.
So the right belt that you should be equipping yourself is the truth of God. And where can you find this truth? Like you said, in the so you need to read this and be acquainted. Okay, truth. So not just any truth, but the truth from Yehovah. Okay, understand?
Yeah.
Second, breastplate of righteousness. What's the breastplate of righteousness? Where's the breastplate? Can you point to me?
The heart.
The heart, very good. You have to guard your heart. Because the human heart is very dangerous and very treacherous, the Bible says. Anytime somebody come and look, what happened? You can sway to this way, right? You can do bad things. So this means that we have to put on the armor, which is to guard our heart with righteousness. Righteous thoughts, very good. Righteous thoughts and righteous actions. Okay?
Elaborate.
Okay, so example, what are some righteous things you think you can do?
Being
Protect your
kind
heart.
to others.
Yes, that's one thing, very good. Some more?
Not to be jealous of others.
So this means you need to constantly monitor your heart. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Why do you do certain things? Why do you say certain things? And then always check back with the Bible, because why? It's the truth and it's the standard. Right.
Yeah.
What is bad, what is good, all stated there. So if you do that, you are wearing the breastplate of righteousness. Okay? And reject all evil thoughts. Yeah. Okay? So we go on to the next one. With your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from gospel peace. You know what's this? It means to share with others your beliefs. It means maybe you read something very nice in the Bible. You read that God's name is Yehovah, or you read that He actually created the whole earth. So what can you do? You can tell Cindy when we have our meet up every weekend. Hey Cindy, you know God created the earth.
But actually, I finally find that very irritating.
You find them irritating?
Yeah, like those people
Like that
who always like go around telling you.
Well, where they see the YouTube. Of course, you don't be preachy lah. You don't go like force your beliefs on them lah, correct?
Take it one step at a time.
Just say I was reading something that they very interesting. I'll share with you.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to take out the Bible and start becoming a pastor lah. No, nobody's asking you that.
Yeah.
So just share lah. Like, you know? Yeah. So it doesn't
something like good food.
correct.
Okay.
Share something good. It's like you know, America or Singapore, even Singapore lah. When you're smoking cigarette, right? Sometimes you share a secret with your friend. Hey, why not? I mean, just using that as an analogy lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sharing
something.
something.
Yeah. Okay.
So just share a tidbit with Cindy or with Annabelle lah.
Yeah, Annabelle. Yeah. Okay.
Annabelle don't like you, right? Okay. So gospel of peace means to your feet shod with the good news, feet equipped with the good news, means to actually share with others what you learned from the Bible. or what God has done for you. Okay? Okay. In addition to this, take up the large shield of faith to extinguish all the flaming arrows of the world. What is faith? Do you know? What does large shield of faith mean?
Take up the shield of faith.
You know what's that? Want to guess?
Believe. Is it?
Yeah, belief. You're right, belief. So example, Eunice, I say, hey Eunice, you don't worry, now you leave the demon already, right? God will come and protect you. But do you have any evidence of that before you take a stand for God? You don't have any evidence of that, right?
The demons came and then they themselves came and then like they decided to move forward.
Yeah,
I believe in God.
but before you took a stand, will you have foreseen that God will do so many things for you?
No.
No, right? But you still took it anyway, right?
Yeah.
That is faith, Eunice. Faith means you never even see the proof, you do already. Because you believe that it will happen. You believe that it will happen for you.
I believe
Right?
in Almighty Father because it's very kind.
So example, maybe we talk about the most famous parachute company in Singapore
Yeah.
or the world. I don't know the name of the company anyway, but imagine you're a skydiver. You are a person that's on a plane that's jump out of the plane, then the parachute will open and save your life, right? Then you have a very nice experience gliding in the sky. Now, if you didn't trust that the parachute will open, will you jump off the plane?
Probably not.
But
Yeah.
because you jump off the plane, you believe the parachute will open, right?
Because I'm a person who values life.
Yeah. So how come you can believe that the parachute will open? Because probably you have been seeing YouTube videos of the people using this parachute, right? Jump off the plane. Or the company has a very good reputation, right? That's why you are willing to entrust your life to this parachute. Same thing with God. He's not asking you to believe blindly. He's saying, learn from my word. See for yourself in your life how I take care of you. And then you will have faith. Is that reasonable? So he gives you the evidence already that he is there, he is powerful, he will never let you fall. So whenever the devil shoot the arrow at you, what should you do? Take up the large shield of faith, block the arrow. That means recount what God has done for you. Recount what he has done for you.
Remember the things, all the good things that I've done
Correct.
for me, for myself.
And if you feel that your own experiences is not enough, there are so many experiences in where? In your solarium.
Oh, it's listed.
A lot.
Everybody's experience.
Yeah, everybody's experience. You can see the Old Testament a lot. New Testament, Jesus time also.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Any more things? Final one? Do you say anything?
And pray in the spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests.
Which is what you have been doing for the past 3 days. Am I right to say that?
Whatever that I feel thankful or whenever I feel scared, I'll start praying.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now do you know how to defend yourself against the enemy? Against Lucy, Juicy and gang? You know how to already, right?
Yeah, it's with this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the saints.
Pray for each other.
Or pray for your friends.
Not just yourself, pray for everyone.
Your family, your friends, whoever that matters to you.
Yeah.
And for people who don't matter to you,
Or people you don't
or
even know.
people you hate,
Yeah, correct.
maybe
People you
pray
hate.
for them that they will not hate you anymore.
No, pray for them that they will receive the same salvation that you receive.
Okay.
Okay? And that they can find the light, the truth.
I understand.
Understand, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yesterday when I was praying with Rehan,
Yeah.
I actually prayed for you and Ken also. And I prayed for all the people around the world that are crying out for help. So this is what the scripture means. Okay? So Eunice, now do you know how to defend yourself against Satan and his demons? You know already, right? Bible. Guarding your heart. Let's recap. Okay. First is the belt of truth. Where to find truth?
Bible.
Guard yourself with truth. Okay? Second is what? The feet. Equip your feet with the gospel of peace. What does that mean? Share.
Oh, share.
Share with people what you learn
Okay.
or what God has done for you, right?
Okay.
Third,
Share what He has done for you. I understand. Okay.
okay, breastplate of righteousness, what's that? This one, guard the
Oh, guard the heart. Guard the heart against like
evil thoughts,
evil thoughts.
evil desires, evil actions.
Yeah.
Always backtrack what do you do for today. If you feel that you did something wrong, always ask Him for forgiveness and ask Him for help to become better. In this way, the devil cannot penetrate you. And if the devil cannot penetrate your heart, that means he cannot kill you.
Yeah.
You are
Make
safe.
use of
He
you.
cannot influence you, make use of you.
Okay.
Okay? Then we talk about the luxury of faith, right? How to build your faith.
Recount all the good things that He has done for you.
Yes. Then we also talk about the spirit sword, right? If I'm not wrong, there's one verse.
Picture.
We forgot take the helmet of salvation and the sword of spirit, which is the word of God. Okay, helmet of salvation, very simple. It's a hope. Guard your mind. Okay? A hope that God will not let us suffer ever. He will come and save us. Salvation. Okay, hope always keep this hope in your mind. And the sword of the spirit, which is the word of God, you know what that means? Use the word of God not just as a defense, use it as a sword, offense. You know how did Jesus do that when He was on earth? When He said, you ever heard of 3 temptations? Okay, let's go to the scripture, okay? Turn to Matthew. Matthew is somewhere in the center. Try to find. Thanks.
Where?
Yes, sir. Okay, wait, let me find first, then I find. Because I also be lost. My sword rusty already. Never really used. I'm very sure it's somewhere.
It's not in alphabetical order.
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh, then it's Matthew.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
736.
Okay. Let me find the temptations. You see whether you can find the 3 temptations.
Yeah, I found 719. Is it the
Wow.
temptation or
Yeah. Oh, you pro, man. So professional. Okay. More professional than a champion, a lot champion.
I've never heard Bible in my life.
Yeah. Okay, many people.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just direct your attention to Matthew chapter 4, which is the. Thanks for finding it anyway. Okay, you want to read the temptations up? Verse 1 all the way to verse 10. This is how you can use the sword to whack Satan. And how you can make him go away. Okay, you want to read out loud?
1 to 10.
1 to 10, yeah.
The temptation of Jesus, chapter 4. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the desert to be tempted by the devil. No wonder your name is Jesus. Sorry, not Matthew. Sorry.
You continue reading.
After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. The tempter came to him and said, "If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." Jesus answered, "It is written, man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Then the devil took him to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. "If you are the Son of God," he said, "throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." Jesus answered him, "It is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the splendor. "All this I will give you," he said, "if you will bow down and worship me." Jesus said to him, "Away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God, and serve Him only."
Then the devil left him and angels came and attended to him. That's verse 11. So Eunice, do you notice how Jesus used the word of God, the spirit sword, or I call it the spear of Solarian, as a weapon against Satan? How did he do it?
Do not put the Lord your God to the test.
You notice Satan was also using the God's word as his own weapon. He was quoting from the scriptures. He was twisting the scriptures to fit his agenda, to get Satan to obey him. But Jesus skillfully took out his sword and parried the blow and stabbed him back by quoting from the scripture. So basically, how did Jesus do it? Jesus must first be familiar with the Bible, right? And then, if anybody come and say something funny to him, like what Satan did, he straight away know already. He take out and he do execute a maneuver and whack the devil back. So how can you apply this to your life? Very simple. Be familiar with the Bible. And if somebody says something to you, always check back with the Bible. If the Bible says the same thing, that means the person is from God. But if the Bible doesn't say that what that person says, means what? Devil. And then what you do, you take the sword, you thrust with him. You fight back. Words lah. Not you do that, you kena death sentence. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so you notice what's the result when you use the word of God as a skillful weapon? What did the devil do after Jesus' time to go away? He go away, right?
Oh yeah. The devil left him and the angels
Ministered to him.
Yeah.
That's why the devil no use already. He failed already. Because why? Jesus too skillful already. Cannot defeat him. You can be like that too. Okay? The closer and the stronger you get to the Lord, the more you'll be like that. Okay, so this is a way you can use the Bible to defend against Satan, attack him. And notice how Jesus said, "Go away from me, Satan. Go away from me." So if they come and talk to you, what should you do? Tell them, "Go away from me in the name of..." So you know how to defend yourself already, huh? Okay. So you go read this when you're free. You can start from the Genesis now. Genesis, or this is a story of creation and everything. Then all the God's people. Yeah. Slowly you read lah.
Okay.
Don't understand, you ask me. Okay?
Okay.
And if I don't understand, we ask God together. Because I don't know everything. Yeah. Okay, so shall we end with a prayer?
Everyone can get this Bible, is it?
Yeah. It's available in so many bookstores.
But this is new international version.
Yeah, this one I find is the most widely recognized version, translation. Like why I ask you to stay away from KJV is because there's some very questionable words. Yeah. So also translation we must choose carefully. But so far NIV I have no issues with it. It's quite safe for me.
I think it's the best lah.
Yeah.
Because you said so.
Yeah. But it's the most recognized version. Okay, so every time before you read the Bible, right, pray to Him also. Ask Him for His guidance.
Okay.
Then when you end, you pray with your thank you, which we're going to do now. Okay? Okay. Shall we say a prayer to the Almighty God? Okay, let's bow our heads.
reading the Bible.
Close with prayer, okay?
Yeah.
Sovereign Lord God Jehovah, we thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to be able to share with Eunice your word. And we have seen for yourself in these past 3 days how powerful you are, how superior you are over to the enemy Satan, Lucy Juicy and his gang. And we know that every servant who puts his trust in you, everybody who puts their trust in you, everybody who reads your word, everybody who talks to you and makes you their God, will have no problems from these wicked demons at all. So we look forward to the time where all mankind is united in worship around the globe and everyone is praising you in one tongue, and that we can be called your servants, and that the devil and his angels will be locked up in the abyss when you come in and when you bring the great war about to cleanse earth of all wickedness. We really sincerely hope that you continue to be with Eunice and that you strengthen her now that she has found you, she has taken a stand for you. The demons will definitely be very unhappy and they'll be looking for every opportunity to enter her. So please be with her, guard her with your powerful cherubs, give her your Holy Spirit in abundance so that she can avoid them and she can resist them. She can grow up to become a very skilled warrior after your training, so that she can parry them and she can attack them with your word, the Bible, like how your son Jesus did. Give her the strength and the power also to save her own family, because the family are deeply entrenched into the religions of their and the traditions of their family. So will you please, in your own time, your own target, your own pace, free these people as well. And we look forward to the time where all people around the globe are freed from false religion and that they can come to you directly and enjoy the goodness that comes from having a relationship with you and making you their God and their Savior. We also mindful of our sins and shortcomings. We make many mistakes. We pray that you continue to forgive us and you don't allow the devil to use them against us, but rather to cleanse us and make us stronger. Fine-tune our armor with the Holy Spirit so that we can resist him and we can be better and stronger servants of yours. So may your protection and your blessings be upon Eunice and Ken and the families. And we hope that they will have a successful wedding that's coming soon. And will you give me the power also to give a good wedding speech so that I can give glory to you and also to help everybody to come to you. So we thank you so much for this video session. It's really a very nice breezy day and conditions and lighting all is very good. So praise be to you, Jehovah, and thank you so much for this. Thank you for this chance to learn about you and to see firsthand your power, how you defeated the demons with just a swift stroke. And the joke of the matter, Sovereign Lord, is also that I don't even know that they were trying to attack me. So, yeah, and you just did your thing and you took them out of Eunice's body and you cleansed her and protected her. So praise be to you for that, Heavenly Father. May you continue to do that for the rest of mankind in your own time. And please help Eunice to cope with the physical and the mental and emotional after effects of the demons leaving her body. Help her to get stronger every day and fill her heart and her mind with spiritual things. Now that she has my sword, Solarian, my spear, help her to put it to good use, to read it and to have a relationship with you. So we offer this prayer up to you, Sovereign Lord Jehovah, as a burnt offering, as a sacrifice of praise. And we hope that you accept it as it's from our heart. May your protection, your blessing and spirit be all of us, especially those around the world who are crying and groaning to you for help, and that they have not found such help yet. Please be with them and help them, Sovereign Lord God. Help them to see that you are the only true God in this world, and that you alone can be the answer to their problems, and you alone are the solution to the problems of mankind. So we offer this prayer up to you very humbly through the name of the Son, the ransomer, Redeemer, the Messiah, the Protector, the King, and our High Priest, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Feel better? Feel good? No more uncomfortable, right?
Better. Yeah.
Every time you feel uncomfortable, read and pray. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.